shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar as shadows creep. He slams the door on tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Right, so just want to explain. A lot of people don't understand why I've got an intro at the beginning of the live stream. It's if I was not to have an intro, it would leave some dead air as people were coming into the live stream. So when I go live, I play the intro. It gives that little bit of 3 minutes for everybody to come into the chat, settle down, and stuff. There's no awkward silence as I'm waiting for people to come into the chat. So that's why I do it. I know a lot of people don't like the intro, but if you don't like it, then you can just mute it, go and make a cup of tea while it's on, and then come back once the actual thing starts. Yeah, and the ads will start. Yeah. I like the intro, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of people do. I think it's just the odd person that doesn't like it. It's not their cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own taste and stuff like that, don't they? So, yeah, it's understandable. Yes, Steve. Right, I just want to address this one as well. I don't know what you mean. Have you got it on timer for the chat, Vin? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't understand that one. That's what I mean. I like to talk to the chat as well. I like to talk to you, my audience. I've seen a lot of YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, they don't really talk to their audience. Not on a personal level. And slow chat, right? Okay, yeah. No, it's not on slow. I never get enough people in the chat to have it on super slow. Afternoon. Hello, everybody. Hello, the chat. Right. This is just going to be a general chat. I've got nothing specifically planned for it, although I have got a few videos for us to watch and stuff. So, yeah. Right, so we'll just get into watch some of the video. Oh, before I start, I forget. I've got to forget. If I don't do this, I will forget. Right, so First up, this weekend we've got some protests coming up. We've got the Best Western at Long Eaton. That's from 10 o'clock onwards. So if you're in that area, go and check out the protest there. Numbers are dwindling a little bit. There's 20 people turn up. Need more numbers. People need to go and give those guys some support. They're doing great work there. They're highlighting the illegal immigrant hotel in Long Eaton. Go and give them support. If you're driving past in your car, give them a toot on your car horn. Let them know that you're thinking about them. Give them some support. Also, yeah, it's Saturday, Steve. Yeah, it's Saturday. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, so it's the Best Western Hotel, Saturday, 10 o'clock onwards, and it's every Saturday. They do that every Saturday. So go give them some love. Go give them some support if you can, if you're in that area. Also, not this coming Sunday, the 30th of November, the Sandpiper Hotel is having another protest again. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be live streaming, as always, from the Sandpiper Hotel. If you can get to that one, it's in Chesterfield. Just type in the postcode, just type in Sandpiper Hotel at Chesterfield, and it'll give you the directions to it. I'll give this down as well. Apparently, there's a big one in Wolverhampton as well. Don't know where that is. So if anybody wants to post a link to that in the chat, you're quite welcome to do so. So I just want to get all those out of the way. Also, I want to give a massive thanks to all my new subscribers, all those people that have come to the channel, subscribed, are commenting, are liking the videos. This channel will be nothing without you guys. I want to make that perfectly clear. I will be nothing without an audience, and you guys make that possible. So I want to thank you all for that as well. You're amazing. Right. Vin, I see a vid this morning when you mentioned that you were wearing shorts. I don't think you would have been wearing shorts where me and my family, before COVID, the snow was close to 7 foot deep. I don't know. I did say 18 foot. You know, it's got to get to 18 foot before I'll start wearing trousers. I just hate wearing trousers, guys. I don't like it at all. I just feel restricted on my legs, and I hate feeling restricted on my legs. And I had a few people in the comments saying the same thing as well. Someone may be going to Portsmouth on Sunday. Nice one. Awesome. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into the first part of this. Right, we're going to share this one. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that's the one. Right. So I'm going to do a bit of an intro for this one. So these guys, they raised the colours. They put flags up on lampposts and stuff like that when they were approached by a lefty. And you can imagine the altercation. So we'll go and have a look at this one first. I don't know if these people have a presence on YouTube or anything like that. I haven't checked. So if they have, someone's post a link to them, by all means do so. He's public with his name, so I'm assuming he doesn't mind having his name public. But this is the guy, Michael East, on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, go and follow him, give him a follow, that sort of thing. Right, let's take a look at it. Right, so this is what he was doing. He was raising these flags, that sort of thing, putting the flags upon the lamppost, as we've seen lots of people do. Raise the colours campaign, as you can see. He's going up the ladder, putting the flags up on the flag post and stuff like that. Doing all these around here. Amazing work. These people really do amazing work. I've got nothing but respect for people like this that are getting off their arses and actually doing something to raise the morale and spirits of the people in this country, because that's really important. I know a lot of people sometimes say, well, how is this helping? It's raising morale. Morale is key in this situation. If people get demoralized, they start to give up. If you can raise their hopes and show the national flag, you know what it's like yourself when you're going down a road and you see the St. George's Cross flying on every single lamppost. It gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of national identity. And that's what these people are trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. So for all those people that say, oh, it doesn't do anything, yes, it does. It does a lot for people's mental attitude towards the situation at the minute. It gives people hope. And that's something we need more than anything at the minute, is hope. So look at the chat. Hi everyone, don't comment much as I listen at work, but appreciate what you do, Vin. Thank you, that means a lot. I had people come up at the Sheffield protest, and it meant more to me than anything when people come up to me at protests and say, I really appreciate what you're doing. It gives me hope, and that's what I'm doing it for. That's what these guys are doing it for, is to give people hope and raise morale and that sort of thing. Why do you think back in the there is, I had an ensign junior officer waving, flaunting the flag? Exactly, it raises morale. Love to see my country's flag. Exactly, we all do. Hello, room, just jumped in. All right, mate, how you doing? Yes, I'm a listener to the Proper Patriot, yeah. How you doing, mate? How you doing? Right, let's go on to the video now, because obviously no good deed goes without being punished, does it? So we'll have a look at this. So obviously they did all this good work, and then they had the lefty.
You can do whatever you want.
We'll just pause this a minute. We had the obligatory lefty come up and start complaining about the flags going up, you know, screeching about it. I'll just play it. So let's see if it's seen on screen. Centering screen, yeah, that's fine. But you all know what you're about to get, so you know what's coming.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm having this
Okay, I'm not making a point about status. I'm making a point that you guys are being disgusting.
We're
Putting up fucking discriminatory England flags all over the fucking ground.
Just listen to it. Putting up discriminatory England flag. This is exactly what I was talking about in my video this morning. The way the England flag is being portrayed. Discriminatory. Remember that word, discriminatory. How the hell, right, can your national flag in your own country be discriminating towards people? It can't, can it? Because the flag represents the people of that country. How can that be discriminating? If you come to this country, you accept the flag, the culture, and the traditions. If you don't like that, F off, leave, go. I'm sick and tired of hearing all this rubbish about our national flag being toxic, discriminatory, and all this rubbish. And obviously, you can tell from the accent that she's a posh, middle-class lefty. No life experience. She's similar to those girls that I was talking to in Southampton. Zero life experience. She's only got one world viewpoint, and that's the world viewpoint that her college lecturers, her Marxist university lecturers, have given to her. She hasn't formed any opinions of her own. She's just parroting what she's been told. That's it. And that's not intelligence. I can teach my dog to do that. You can teach a monkey to do that.
About to make people apart from this country feel
I can't wait to put this on
discriminated.
Facebook. Oh yeah, well, she's gonna get hate.
I'm gonna get AIDS.
Hate reports for what you're doing, basically.
Okay, bro.
Bro, we ain't your bro. We ain't your bro.
Bro, we ain't your bro. Bro. How old are you? Sorry. 5'6"
Oh, mate, why?
guy in the North Face coat. How old are you?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, look at it. They've got nothing. They've got no reason to be there except to insult them. They've got no arguments, and this is what you'll find with every single lefty. They've got no arguments. When you challenge them on what they're doing, they've got nothing. They're vapid, absolutely vapid in everything that they say. They've got nothing. So what happens when they're confronted? They have to resort to petty insults, like what she's just done there. And in a bit, she's got the nerve to call him immature.
Put this. Don't even answer because this is gonna be hilarious on Facebook
How old
tomorrow.
are you?
She's gonna be embarrassed.
Thank you.
I'm posting this straight
That's
away.
so disgusting.
Let's not forget, right? She's the one that came up to them. She came up to them because she got offended because people in their own country are putting up their own national flag. Just let that sink in for a bit. Let's have a look at the chat. Yep, exactly. I hate that. It irritates me so much. I know I'm probably making a mistake in saying that because I'm going to get all the leftists saying it to me now that are watching this. they're going to be coming up to me and saying, bro, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's like, I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro. And it just sounds stupid coming out of a woman's mouth. It does. Bro. It's like, piss off. I'm not your bro. Right. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, your
attitude,
Okay.
your childish
That's fine.
behaviour is.
Okay,
Is
I
this
hope
your
you
missus?
guys feel very comfortable about all the people
Is that your
who make you
missus?
feel
Is
uncomfortable.
that your missus?
He's not a part of this, actually. I chose
Is that
to
your
come over
girlfriend?
here on my own.
Yeah, he's a beta male then. He's a beta male. She's obviously the dominant one in the relationship, isn't she? He's just a little soy boy that stands in the corner.
You're allowing her to talk like that. It's a bit immature, isn't it? You've got to admit, come
I'm
on.
sorry that his girlfriend has opinions. That
It's
you
not
guys
your
are
opinion, you're rude.
disgusting.
You're rude.
Yeah, because you guys are making people feel like ashamed to be in this country. People who
Right. So let's have a look at that argument, right? She's saying you're making people feel ashamed to be in this country by putting up the country's national flag. That isn't an issue with people putting the flag up. That's an issue with the people taking offense to it and feeling ashamed about it, which I highly doubt many of them are anyway. It's just in her tiny little head. She's the one that's getting offended for people that she doesn't even know. She just presumes they're getting offended because of what she's been told by college lecturers. When in reality, the vast majority of people don't really give a shit that we're putting up our national flag. It's only loony lefty Karens like this that actually care.
work hard, people who are in the NHS, people who support the public
Who said that?
services, and you're putting up these flags to make them feel excluded from the country. To be
Right, let that one sink in. Let that argument sink in. You're putting up these flags to make them feel excluded from the country. Well, couldn't they include themselves? If they really wanted to take part in the country, buy some flags, put some flags up yourself. Then you would feel included, wouldn't you? Because then we're going full circle. We're coming back around to them being offended by the flag. If they're offended by the flag and it makes them feel uncomfortable because they're in another country and that country is expressing its patriotism, then I suggest they leave. They shouldn't be here. Like I said in a previous video a few days ago, we're not changing for you. We are not changing our culture for you. You can be offended all you like. That's your right. We just don't have to care about it.
fucking segregate. Oh, I'm blind to the bigger picture. All you consume is little fucking pictures on Facebook.
Yeah,
oh
okay.
no, I'm so sorry. When was the last time you read?
Yeah, how many flags does she put up? I bet she puts up the pride flag. I bet she proudly flies the Palestinian flag. I bet she proudly flies every flag under the sun for every gender, made up gender in existence. No issues with that. Will she?
A genuine news article, bro. You look fucking immature as fuck.
Bro, who's your bro? Bit rude, aren't you? Get your vocabulary
Oh my
right, girl.
God. Grow some hair, bro.
My fucking book collection is very vast, and I read voraciously.
Okay, name one
Oh,
book.
mate, don't I?
Name one book. Name one book you've read recently, bro.
Go away. And I ain't your bro. So
I ain't your bro.
Yeah, she thinks because she's read Karl Marx that she's an authority on everything. So I would say to her, what book have you read? I would suggest she reads 1984 to see what type of person she is.
Bro, come up with a more creative
This is going to
comeback,
be
yeah?
hilarious. This is going to go viral.
You really think
Hey,
putting
we
me
get
on
8.5
Facebook
million
is
views
gonna
in
make
2
me
days.
feel better?
8.5 million views in 2 days
There are
we
more
get.
flags in these bags.
Don't touch them, mate.
Okay.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, so of course, no argument. Now she's got to try and commit theft. No argument, vapid. Oh, I'm going to take your flags. This is the entitlement of these people. They feel they can do anything. Look at my videos from a few days ago where that elderly gentleman tried to knock the camera out of my hand when I was filming. It's the entitlement. They feel justified in doing it because they think we're correct. We're correct. So we have all the power, so we can do this to people. They're insane. Absolutely 100% insane, these people. So look at some of the... But no one allowed to say anything about the Palestinian flag, right? The Bangladeshi flag. You want to fly the Bangladeshi flag? Go off to Bangladesh, exactly. Totally agree. Vin, I wonder if she has kids. No, definitely doesn't have kids. She would do if she got... Yeah, exactly. By it, yeah. I think we'd all like to know that. The chickens voting for Christmas, no, Crag. That's what they are. They're just chickens voting for Christmas. Some people don't like my private car. Yeah, exactly. Deal with it. Cheeky B calling people bro. Who the hell does she think she is? Not mine. Said no, definitely not. So she feels justified in stealing the flags, and her boyfriend actually steps in. He becomes an alpha male and tells her, "No, you've been an idiot now."
Carry on. That's theft now. That's theft now. That's theft. That's theft. That's theft now. You're being aggressive.
I would take her away right now.
That's theft.
I would take her away and I'd go right now, mate.
Mate, that's going on Facebook too.
Yeah, and then she starts filming. Like, why are you filming for? You're the idiot in this situation. You're the one that just tried to commit theft. Like I said, so entitled. They feel so entitled to do what they're doing to people. And it's all because of college lecturers that are telling them that they're in the right, that they're superior in what they believe. And this is what it leads to. People like this.
Mate, you can take it, go on my Facebook. I'm on it. I'm on the front page of the Oxford Mail.
You know why you're on the front page? Because everyone's embarrassed.
We're not. Mate,
They think you're disgusting.
we get
They think you're a bigot.
I can't wait. This is gonna. You might wake up in the morning and wish you
It's
never
not
did
my
that.
fault that a woman hasn't touched you in years, bro. Stop hitting them. Stop being disgusting
All they can do is insults. Insults. That's it. It's all they've got. Insults. Hatred.
towards other races and grow the fuck up. Have a lovely evening, or don't. I hope you get here. Goodbye.
Very tolerant.
So tolerant and lovely, aren't they? Did you hear that? Have a lovely evening. I hope you get hit by a car. What a lovely person. Our parents must be extremely proud of you. And they probably are, because they're probably lefties too. They're probably extremely proud of this sort of behavior. Again, this is somebody that has never been told no. Never been told no in her life. Spoiled little brat. Thinks she's entitled to say the things that she's saying, and hates the fact the first time she comes up against actual pushback, she doesn't like it. She throws a little tantrum, tries to steal the flags. That's what's going on here. Just a little prima donna. It'll happen to her, a trauma, and then she will wake up to the fact that she's falling apart. Yeah. Typical woman acting entitled, child and cheap insults. Yes. Yes, probably feels safe walking the streets at night until she ain't, it's a rude awakening. It's reality giving them an education, isn't it? Exactly, parents' failure. Well, depends on who her parents are. If they're lefties, they'll probably see that as a success, won't they? Most people working in the NHS now won't treat a Jew. How long before they won't treat a Christian? Exactly. It's just a slippery slope, isn't it? Right. Let's have a look at this. I want to show you this one as well. This is funny. This is from
Another.
Hang on. Let me find out who this is from. Who is this from? Stop far left extremists, anti-far. Oh, this is a gold mine of insanity, isn't it? Let's have a look. Stop far left extremists, anti-far, public watch. I'm not sure his actual footage, original footage that was, and no, I've seen this somewhere before. Well. We'll play it anyway. It's at Jack Hadders, right? At Jack Hadders. Right, so this is actually a school teacher. These are actually Unison. These are school teachers. These are the people that are teaching your kids. And this is why I think the majority of them are masked up, because they're teachers. They're teachers, and they're in jobs where if they were to be, their identity was to be revealed, they wouldn't have a job anymore. So let's play this. Imagine that teaching your kid. Imagine that teaching your kid, that extremist teaching your kid.
Any thoughts on the
Yeah, lovely. Unison there, look. Let's look at some of the chat. Teachers, yeah. These are the people teaching your kids right now. Absolute nut jobs. Union members are absolutely... Yeah, I've said this in my live streams. If you were a member in a union and you're not a lefty, a raging lefty, you're just a working class person that pays into unions. Why? Why? Ditch your subs, because half the time they don't defend you anyway. Half the time they side with the management, most of the time anyway, over you. They just want your subs, and this is what it goes towards paying. It goes towards funding shit like this to go and hurl abuse at actual patriots. So if you're in Unison or any union, check and see where your money actually goes. If it goes towards these idiots, just cancel your subs and come out of the union. That's my honest advice.
Get a job.
Get a job. Look at the state of the hate on that guy. Look at the hate on him. You can see it in his eyes, the hate. Get a job. Yeah, the guy probably behind the camera is probably earning more than you are, mate. He's probably earning more than you are. And you're giving him all the content that he needs. This is something they don't understand. When they do this, they're just giving you what you want. It's like, yeah, thanks for giving the footage. Thank you for that. You should thank them, really. You shouldn't get aggressive with them. Just thank them for giving you the footage.
Get a job. Do some work. This is my job.
What the hell is he doing? Where's his job? What's he doing?
What are you doing? Get a job. Do some work. Get a hobby.
Look at he's being aggressive towards a woman, getting in her face. And they claim to be all tolerant and nice and peaceful and fluffy. Not in reality. And don't forget, stand up to racism, which is what this protest is by the looks of things, is also funded by the Socialist Workers' Party. So it's basically just communism in disguise. That's all they are, communists in disguise. Absolutely vile. Totally agree. The pushback that should be given is just cancel your subs. Just cancel your subs. Screwing banshees, minding the next generation. Yep. No, they are National Education Union, which replaced National Union of Teachers. ×5 in radicalization here. They just hate the white working class. Yeah, of course, the socialists do. They all do. They all hate us. No doubts about that whatsoever. They hate us. 100%. Know what that is. Facebook. Right.
Get a job. Get out of face.
She's a journalist, you dickhead. She has got a job. That's Emma. Met her in Southampton. She's a very nice lady. So go back. See it on the screen. Yeah, this is Emma. She's a professional journalist. So we're saying get a job, and yet this moron here, look at the state of him. Look at the hate in his face at this young girl. Because she's just asking him a question. They're just, I don't know, disgusting people.
Get out of face. Listen, I came here in a boat. I've been here. I've worked my whole life here. So you can start.
That was that. So yeah, that was them. Yeah, she's really nice. Like I said, met her down in Southampton. Very nice, switched on, professional, always courteous, always polite. And that's the sort of reaction that she gets from these people. Yep, definitely, 100%. Emma puts a lot of work into her journalism. Anyone who has seen her channel knows this. Yeah, that's why she's doing so well. That's why her channel's growing. These morons couldn't, you know what? They can't build anything. These are the people that live to destroy things. They can't build anything. They have to tear down and destroy. That's the only thing they're good at. My mate's missus was deputy head at the secondary school. She had to pick up 25% of new intake and write them off by putting with the worst teachers. She done that for average right people, okay? And they wonder why us right people get pissed off with them. Exactly. Right, we'll stop sharing that and we'll go, that's it, we're done for Facebook now. Get this one up. Yeah, so this is from DP Audits. Get this one up. So this is Lefty Teachers again, but this time, yeah, I'll read it when we get it on the screen. But this disgusted me. This absolutely disgusted me. I did a short live stream about this the other night, about a 10-minute one, because it really, really pissed me off. This one, it really did. These were Lefty Teachers as well. They went to that young girl's, Rihanna, was her name Rihanna? Can't remember her second name, but Rihanna. She was the young girl, the young mother that was stabbed 23 times by that illegal immigrant. And so at the vigil, these scumbags turned up, put a stall up for socialism outside the vigil for this young girl and started chanting, "Refugees welcome here," at that young girl's vigil. This is how disgusting they are. Right, so this is DP Audits. This is from him. I think this is his footage as well. Lefty Teachers, we are on to you. So I've seen an article the other day, Stand Up to Racism are going into schools in Oxfordshire to teach about far right. People are racist, and it actually mentioned Tommy Robinson. I ain't having it. I teach my kids, these lot are nuts. Thank you very much. Right, yeah. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at what they've got to say.
We're coming for you teachers, you know. We're coming for you teachers. We know about you and your rhetoric. We know you're meant to be impartial and teach our kids impartially, but you don't, do you? No, you don't. Stop chatting shit. We all know it's a lie. You're literally letting stand up to racism into the schools to tell all the kids what rhetoric to be. No, keep far left stand up to racism out of my kids' school. What's teaching our kids? Look at that. The state of that. Calling everyone racist and Nazi because they don't agree with their opinion. This is what's teaching our children. You're literally letting stand up to racism into the schools to tell all the kids what rhetoric to be. I'm not racist. Because stand up to racism are anti-white rhetoric, anti-British rhetoric.
Yeah, let's not forget that Stand Up to Racism were taking the knee to a career criminal, George Floyd. Yeah? Not the best example to kids, are they? An extremist group, far left group of people funded by the Socialist Workers' Party, who, like I said before, are just socialists and communists in disguise. They use the fluffy image of Stand Up to Racism to infiltrate places, to get in there, to brainwash kids, to produce girls like that young girl we saw earlier on in the live stream. That's who teachers like this are producing from our school system. That's what they're doing. And that's why there needs to be a purge of people like this from our education system. These people should be nowhere near our kids. There should be no right-wing or left-wing teachers. They should be just completely neutral. Kids should just be allowed to make up their minds for themselves what they think and what they believe. That's what I think. Let them make up their own minds based on the evidence that you present. That's what should happen. But the kids are being taught by people like this. They're absolutely batshit crazy. So look at the chat. I felt sorry for Sister of Vigil. Yeah, exactly. I tried to make a complaint about Stand Up to Racism having charity status, and the Charity Commission complaint form defeated me. I bet. Our children's minds are being polluted with lefty stuff and nonsense. Exactly. There should be none of it. There should be none of it in school. There should be no political nonsense like this at all. My era were Christian. My kids, their choice. Exactly. Let kids make up their own minds about what their worldview is. All teachers should be doing is teaching both sides of the they should be teaching the controversy as well, because all they teach in schools is how bad the British Empire was, how evil it was. They don't teach how much good it actually did around the world. And compared to other empires, like the Belgian Empire, for instance, really nasty group of people, the Belgian Empire. Nobody ever mentions the Belgian Empire. I wonder why that is. None of these teachers ever mention the Barbary slave trade, or the fact that the African Arabic slave trade was going on for thousands of years before any white European settlers set foot on the continent of Africa. That's never taught either. The biggest profiteers from the slave trade were the African kings that were selling their own people into slavery. Again, not taught in schools. Also not taught in schools is the fact that the slave trade is still alive and well in Africa. Not mentioned. Not mentioned. I wonder why. Why do you think that is? Maybe it's because they've got an agenda. Maybe it's because they've got an agenda. Yep, it is. They're activists. Same as journalists. There is no journalism anymore in the mainstream media. They're all activists. Oh, they all will be. They all will be. They'll have the flag up. Yep, it doesn't fit the narrative. Yep, Steve. And the Saudi slave trade still exists. There's a lot of slavery in Africa. There's a lot of slavery in Iraq. I came across it in Iraq when I was out there, slavery. Definitely. It's alive and well. But the lefties won't mention that, because, like you said, doesn't fit the narrative, does it? 50,000 slaves in United Arab Emirates. Yep. I have to go. We'll catch up later. Take care. No problem. Thanks for coming along. Really appreciate it.
No, we shouldn't have stand up to racism in the schools. The organisation in the schools. Oh, are you a teacher, are you? You're what's teaching our kids.
Well, that's that. So that was that. I just want to see if... Stop sharing. I want to see if... I was talking about the military this morning, about how they're posturing. Right, this might be useful for people. Right, let's have a look. Right, I'm going to do this because I know that there might be some people that actually watch this that this might apply to. So I'll share this screen. This is quite interesting. Like I said, this is just a general chat today. There's no actual structure to this. What I'll do in a minute is, we're coming up to the hour mark in a bit. I'll drop the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to come in and have a chat to me, you are perfectly welcome to do so. I don't bite, don't worry. Wow. 75,000. Wow. That's slaves then, is it, in the United Arab Emirates? Right, okay. Right, I'll share this. This is I guess this is like a public announcement warning, this. Share the screen. Go. Right, so we'll read this. So this is from Antifa Public Watch official. Right, so it says, obviously we'll talk about this guy. I'll click on his picture in a minute. Be careful whilst filming. Thomas has been targeting YouTubers and videographers during protests. If he suspects them of not learning politically left-wing, specifically Palestine Solidarity Campaign, which are organised by Social Workers Party. Right? I don't care. Let this guy approach me. Let him approach me. This guy. Well, he looks extremely sane and coherent, doesn't he? This guy. Sorry, he doesn't scare me at all. Thomas Abdullah Bourne. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. So look at the top of that. No, I can't do that. Picture won't let me. Wow. Sorry, if he came up to me, I'd laugh at him. I would laugh at him. I don't know why people get so intimidated by these people. They're a joke. Absolute joke. So that was that. Let's have a look if there's anything else on the timeline that we can have a look at. Oh, just that meat puppet robot. I don't listen to him anymore. I really don't listen to him. He's an idiot. Wow. No Reform MPs turn up for urgent question time on Russia. They're really pushing this Russia thing lately, aren't they? Creative one. That's also worth looking at that. So, creator warning. A close friend of mine on YouTube has had his entire channel hacked and taken offline after interacting with what looked like normal email. 2 unauthorized videos were uploaded, channel breached, and took nearly 2 weeks to get restored. I've done a full breakdown in today's video. Every creator needs to hear this. Right, okay. That's Andy Gabby Cabby, by the way. When hackers take your YouTube channel. It's a real threat. Don't click on any links or any. I had some good advice from a WhatsApp group actually yesterday. That if you want to stop links appearing in your chat or in your videos, you just type in the HTTP part of the link and put that down as a marked word. So YouTube will block it every time that appears in the comments. It means people won't be able to post links, but it's far better that than somebody click on a link that's dodgy, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely slavery in Afghanistan, 100%. I keep telling my sons and daughters to take my grandchildren out of school and home teach them. I'm sure they won't learn a lot more at home. I have a degree in maths and English. Right, okay. Nice one. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drop the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come in and have a discussion, a chat, or whatever you can do. So links in the chat. If you want to come in, have a chat, you can do for 5 or 10 minutes. More than welcome to do so. Unfortunately, we have a deep problem in this country now with 2 enemies within. I think there will be a lot of these types of attacks. People need to be vigilant. Yeah, definitely. Bloody Sunday was quite bad, Martin. Yep. Right, I'll drop the link again. So I've dropped the link twice. I think so. Don't forget about the Best Western protest on Saturday. It's every Saturday, every single Saturday from 10 o'clock onwards. I think it's 10 till 1, I'm not sure, but it's definitely 10 o'clock start. So if you want to give those guys some support, go and give them some support. Even if you're just driving past the Best Western Hotel in Long Eaton, just beep your horn and give those protesters some support for what they're doing out there. Also, don't forget on the 30th of November, there's another protest at the Sandpiper Hotel in Chesterfield. If you're in the area, come down, check it out. I'm going to be there live streaming. So if you want to come up and say hello, yeah, feel more than welcome to do so. And that sort of thing. I'm glad the SAS taking legal action. I'm sure they'll get a lot of support. Yes, they will. Right. So on that note, if nobody's going to come in the chat, nobody coming in to have a chat or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do so. Stop sharing that now. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? Is there anything that you want me to talk about or mention before I go? Try to think if there's anything. Get in there for a chat within, Steve. Talk about British people leaving the UK. I've got no mixed feelings on this, right? This is how I feel. I feel that if you've got the money, leave. I do. That's my honest opinion. I've got nothing against anybody leaving, especially youngsters, because they've got zero opportunities in this country. Look at what the options they've got, right? Look at what they've got. They haven't got anything. They've got no prospect of a job, basically. They've got no prospect of getting onto the property ladder at all. Everything, if they're a white working class family that want to raise a family, then this isn't the country for you anymore, is it? And I know it's shocking for me to say that. It's true. It is true. That is what this country has become. If you are white working class and you want to raise a family, it's not for you. It's not the country for you. Simply isn't. Record numbers. Yeah, exactly. How many was it? It was 250,000, wasn't it? Was it 250,000 people that left? And it's going to be a lot more. And like I said, I've got nothing against those people doing that. If they think they can have a better life in another country, go for it. I've heard that President Donald Trump, is in talks to actually offer citizenship and refugee status to Brits here facing persecution for their beliefs. Can you imagine that in this day and age? That British people, English people, leaving the UK because they're being persecuted for what they believe. It's basically being Christians. Shocking. If you want your own business, I would definitely say leave. It's almost impossible here with taxes. Yeah, exactly. Lots of small businesses folding. Yeah. If I'm entirely honest, I don't think there's any country left where the white person comes first. I will look forward to the moon base the Republicans have recently funded in full. Yeah. Yep. Some are leaving temporarily for the next election. Yeah, if they settle in another country, they'll not be back. I know a record number of millionaires are leaving the country. Why wouldn't you? If you look at what Rachel from Accounts has got planned for millionaires, you'd leave, wouldn't you? All the investors are leaving the country. She's gonna tax them on their second homes. So basically, if you've worked all your life, worked really hard to build up a business, and you've got assets to show for it because you've worked your knuckles to the bone, then she's going to tax you on it. She's going to punish you for working hard. She's going to take that money off you, that tax, and then give it not to our people, but to foreign immigrants that shouldn't be here. That's what she's going to do. So I don't blame anybody that has a business that decides to sell up and leave the country. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame young people. I don't blame anybody for leaving the country right now. Personally, for me, and this is my personal decision, I'll stay and fight to the bitter end because that's who I am. This is where I was born. This is where my ancestors are from. And I will fight for these green and pleasant lands till my last breath. But that's my choice. I can't make that choice for others. And I can't make judgments for other people based on what they're deciding to do either. They'll all be exempt though, Steve. They'll find some loophole that makes them exempt from it, won't they? Thanks, Greg. Yeah, so you're a Marxist then, Virginia Woolf. You're a Marxist. Anybody that agrees with Karl Marx on anything is a Marxist. Karl Marx was a layabout. Didn't want to work. That's why he came up with Marxism. Wanted to live off other people. That's why he came up with Marxism. Martin, stop licking the boots. It's the workers that create all the wealth in society. No, it's not. Don't you think millionaires that have built up a business over decades are workers? Don't you think they're workers as well? Why don't you come in? Tell you what, Virginia Woolf, why don't you come in and have a chat? I'll drop the link. You come and have a chat. We'll have a discussion about this. Yeah? Martin, stop licking their boots. It's the workers that create the wealth. No, it's not. It's not the workers that create the wealth. It's the people who create the businesses that the workers work for that create the wealth. The wealth is created by the person who created the business, not the workers. If there wasn't a business, there would be no workers to create wealth, would there? Yeah? We should get our fair share of that wealth, not hoarded by billionaires. Yeah, but what have you done for that? Yeah, but the people that have built up those businesses were also workers. What about those people that build up businesses from scratch, from nothing, take a risk with their own money, and then build up a business to a point where they can employ millions of employees? They're workers too. And yet you want to punish them. You've got some strange hatred for people that are rich. If that's the case, then look at Westminster, because they're all rich. Exactly. This is the problem with the Marxist ideology. Exactly. Workers alone don't create wealth. There needs to be something for them to be working for wealth to be created. Socialism and communism works until you run out of other people's money. Exactly. Oh, sweetie, you commies are all pathetic. You know what we do to commies. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Hey, Richard Evans, how you doing? You're no worker, but see how much the Cincinnati lathe costs. Willing to put it in. Exactly. Look at all the overheads. Look at all the overheads and the taxes, the benefits that you get. Yeah. Without billionaires and millionaires, there would be no social system. There would be no social project. Because in order for that to exist, there has to be an excess. And where does that excess come from? The huge amount of taxes that these billionaires pay. That's where it all comes from. That's what enables the NHS to exist, because of investors and billionaires paying into the system. Without that, you would have nothing. And what you do is, if you tax these billionaires and millionaires unfairly, they leave the country. They leave. And then you're left in trouble. Without the workers, there would be no billionaires. They would have to get a job, laugh out loud. They already have a job. They had a job building the business. That was their job. You think they just sit around doing nothing all day, don't you? That's your idea of a billionaire. They're innovating. They're constantly thinking about different things, different projects to create jobs for people. Yeah? You see what happens when all the billionaires and millionaires leave because you're unfairly taxing them. What you're left with? A very big social bill. Yeah? That's what you're left with, because there's nobody left to pay it. There's no excess. It's gone. And it's true what they say. I've said this in videos before. If you put communists and socialists in charge of a desert, eventually they run out of sand. So let's do it. So let's do it without them and share the wealth amongst us workers. That's exactly what's happening right now through capitalism. It does get shared through the workers. They earn a wage. It creates a job. They can work for themselves. Yeah. No, I'm not defending capitalist overlords. I'm defending the system that enables a socialist credit system, not socialist credit system, a socialist system to be implemented, like socialist projects like benefits, like universal credit, universal healthcare. Where do you think the money comes from for those things to be implemented? It doesn't come from the government. The government doesn't earn money, doesn't make money. The only revenue the government gets is through tax. And tax comes from innovators, from employers, from billionaires. That's what creates the excess that allows these projects to happen. And what happens when these billionaires leave? You get places like Venezuela. You get places like that, where the economy collapses and people have to eat their pets to stay alive. That's what you get. You get bread lines. That's where it comes from. Oh, I'm on the bread line. It's exactly what it means. It's because of socialist and communist, the bread lines where people queue up for hours for a single loaf of bread because of people like you that want to implement communism and socialism. Workers' labour create wealth, not billionaires. No, they don't. How would a worker create wealth without working at a job? Explain that to me. How does a worker create wealth if there's nothing there to create? You have to work for somebody for an order of wealth to be created, because you have to offer your services to an employer and in return they pay you something. That's creating wealth. Yeah. So just workers on their own with no employers, how does that create wealth? In a workers owned cooperative. And how has that worked out in the past? How has that worked out in the past for society? Hasn't, has it? Every time this has been tried, socialism and communism have been tried, they fail every time. Because they fail to take one vital variable into account. Humans. They fail to take humans into account. Thank you. Soviet Russia was a co-op. Where's the Soviet Union now? Yeah, where is it? Vsb yesterday, I heard that food stamps in the US cost $7 billion a month. Where does Virginia Woolf think that money comes from exactly? Where does that come from? It wasn't a co-op, it was a capitalist under Stalin, even though it had a centrally planned economy. That's capitalist, is it? Soviet literally means workers' co-op, dum-dum. This is the thing, you see. This is the thing, right? This is because you believe yourself to be more intelligent than people. You come into a chat and then you get proven. You get to be weighed and found wanting, don't you? Because you're now outside of your little communist bubble where everybody agrees with everybody else. Yes, that's what the state capitalist means. Read a book, bro. Oh, God. Not a bro. Bro, read a book, bro. You just lost the argument by saying the word bro in your sentence. Why don't you come in the chat? Why don't you come in to the actual live stream and have a chat? Yeah? Let's have a discussion. So, Virginia Woolf, what do you think about the national flag? What do you think about the St. George's Cross and the Union flag? What's your opinion on those things? Genuine question. What do you think about those things? Why do you feel sorry? You see, this is this false sense of superiority. Why do you feel sorry for us? Why? Because we're pointing out the flaws in your arguments. You feel sorry for us. Yeah, straight out of university or college, they've been told to read Karl Marx, and all of a sudden, oh, I know everything about everything. Everybody's inferior to me. I don't really care about the flag, but it's sad to see it being used to sow division. What division is it being sowed, though? What division? I don't see any division. Do you? Why don't you come into the live stream and have a chat, Virginia Woolf? Yeah? Come and have a chat. Bootlickers, literally working class business owners are bootlickers, apparently. You should probably know we're really good at building stuff like gallows. Yeah, this is the concept we see. That they all automatically think that everybody working class is under the boot. But they don't think about the working class people that have their own businesses, that employ people, do they? They don't think about that angle of the argument. There's two extremes. There's the workers and there's the billionaires and the millionaires. They don't think there's people in between those two extremes. They don't think those people exist. They do. Thank you for seeing through the crap and bringing us good honest content. We are sad times, corruption, agendas. Save yourself. It's time to let the sheep walk into the slaughterhouse. Yep. You should read a book. Why do people always say this? Why don't you read a book? In fact, instead of reading a book, why don't you have a look at what went on in Venezuela? Why don't you have a look at what went on in Cuba? Why don't you have a look at what goes on in communist China? Why don't you have a look at what goes on in any communist country on the planet? Why do people leave communist countries? They're not utopias. Why do you think every year thousands upon thousands of people try to leave communist Cuba on homemade rafts? They risk the 90-mile journey to Florida on rafts through shark-infested waters. Many of them die. Why do you think people do that? Is it to stay in the communist utopia of Cuba? Or is it because it's an absolute shithole and they want to escape from it because it's oppressive, authoritarian, and they have no rights? Think it could be that, don't you? I think that could be the reason why they're trying to leave that. Also, when the Berlin Wall fell, which way did everybody run? Which way did everybody go when the Berlin Wall came down? Was it to the west or was it to the east? Maybe I'd like to answer that one. Maybe you'd like to answer me that one. Yeah? Have you actually read Marx? Genuine question. Because you talk like you think you're an expert. Karl Marx was an idiot. He was a layabout idiot. And he invented a political ideology so that he didn't have to work. That's what he did it for. He didn't look after his children at all. He sponged off his parents. He sponged off of everybody around him rather than work. Yeah. No, I don't need to read the guy to know about the guy. Yeah. I can see what he did, what he actually did by his actions, not what he wrote himself. Because if all you're doing is looking at what he wrote, then you're not getting a full picture of who the man was, are you? Because you're getting a very biased view of that. Yeah. You can laugh all you like, but you're the one that's looking like a moron in the chat. What case? You haven't made a case. You've made no case. Every single assertion you've made has either been rubbish by me or the chat. You've not made a case. You've not made a case of anything. You don't understand basic economics in society, that you need rich people in order to create a excess so that you can have all your social projects. Because when those people leave because of higher taxes and you don't have an excess, you don't have a socialist experiment anymore, do you? The money dries up. The money dries up, and then that massive social bill that you have can't be paid anymore. That's what happens. I don't need to read Mein Kampf to know that Hitler was an absolute nut job. I can look at his actions. I can look at his life to tell me that Hitler was an absolute nut job without reading Mein Kampf. I have read Mein Kampf, actually, and it's the ramblings of a lunatic, same as Karl Marx. Apologies to everyone else in the chat. I can't reply to all of you as I have only been responding to Dave. Everybody knows my name. Everybody knows my name. You think calling me by my real name somehow scares me or something? I'm not the one. I'm not the faceless, anonymous person, am I? I'm not the faceless, anonymous person in the chat that uses a pseudonym with no picture. Yeah? So what's your name? What's your real name then? Let's get acquainted. What's your real name? Who do you look like? Why don't you show your face? How much do you get paid from the government? Of course you do. You're a coward. You don't show your face. You don't show your face. I show my face all the time. I don't wear a mask when I go to protests. Don't need to. I'm not afraid of people like you. So, yeah, you've had all your arguments absolutely totally destroyed by the chat and me. You've made no case, and this is what you do. You literally are the pigeon playing chess with a pigeon meme, aren't you? That when you lose an argument, you just shit all over the chessboard and knock all over the pieces. It's basically what you do. You've got this false sense of superiority that's grounded in nothing. Let's go shorthand. This place is very hostile to me, so I'm going to. How is a chat hostile? Spoken like a true lefty. How is a chat hostile to you? This place is very hostile to me, so I'm not going to out myself. If it wasn't the case, I would introduce myself properly. Very hostile to you, but you feel it's perfectly okay to use my first name in the chat, and we all know why you did that. That's why all you lefties do this sort of thing. It's like, oh, I know your first name. Whoop-de-doo. 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 Well, I've been called a bitch, which wasn't very nice, to be honest. Well, yeah, don't agree with that. The truth is truly out. Yet many people posting videos of how sick they are with COVID after multiple vaccinations. Yeah, whatever that is. I'm proud to show my face because I'm an Englishman. Exactly. I'm not going to put that on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, look, I'll drop the link in the chat again. If you want to come in, Virginia Woolf, you're quite welcome to do so. You don't have to show your face. You can do it anonymously. But this is what you people always do. You come in here, you condescend to people. You condescend to people. I don't go for all the identity politics stuff, Steve, but you can use whatever pronouns for me you like. Yep, I think you're right. I think you're right on that one. Making it all about them in the chat. Again, just interesting to have a different perspective, though. I like debate. I like to offer people the chance to come and have their say, share the platform with me and come in here, have a discussion about it. Got no issues with that whatsoever. Yes, Virginia's a man. No one would call a man bro. Also, a man that detests our history and is happy to have us self-deprecate, plus that our kids are being brainwashed. Yeah. And if you remember from earlier, right, what did I say in the chat? I don't like it when people use the term bro. And then all of a sudden we have somebody come into the chat that uses bro. Yeah, I think I've got a good idea who Virginia Woolf actually is. I think it's somebody that used to be on the channel but got banned. I think that's who Virginia Woolf is. Yeah, right. So, guys, I think we'll end on that note. I'm gonna call it. Virginia Woolf don't come into the live stream because obviously can't have their opinions challenged. It's easier to do it in the chat. It's a lot harder to come on a live stream and do it in person. So yeah, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thanks to everybody coming along. Really, just to chat to you guys. I like chatting to you guys, and connecting to you is important. I like to hear what your guys' opinions are. Don't forget about the Best Western Hotel in Long Eaton on Saturday. They're doing a protest. You're too late now, Stefan. I'm about to leave, mate. I'm ending the stream. I'll catch you next time I do a live stream. You'll be the first one in, mate. I promise. Best Western Hotel in Long Eaton, Saturday, 10 a.m. onwards. Chesterfield, 30th of November, Sandpiper Hotel, Chesterfield. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be streaming, so come along, say hello to me, and give that protest some support as well. Thanks for coming along, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This is Vindicator, signing off. I shall see you all soon.